Deputy Opposition Leader.
Your Assistant Speaker, lo looks have a opposition. Me too, me like contribute lick go lo grievance debate. So me like asking Prime Minister na all government, please look have a grievance debate on Fridays. Now avoid unnecessary unnecessary papers lo coming or time blow grievance debate. Ministerial statements come from 11 o'clock all the way to 12. Now you got less than an hour for grievance debate, which is the opportunity for backbenchers, now members, lo talk, lo gaman masarim. Number one. Number two, people ministers working one in Santi Arasai. Grievance debate, they'll be raising some very important points. Now you must sit down and have him talk to our members. I see some very faithful ones every grievance debate. Sit down and kiss him no. More than 50% of the ministers are not on the floor. Now this is not encouraging for all NIPLA or members come now. Me looking plenty of NIPLA members sit down staff. Where are the experienced ones or ministers? Look, kiss him talk blow members. Mr. Assistant Speaker, this morning we had a report coming from the Minister for Internal Security. Now I'm kissing big concern come law, MIPLA law opposition. You may have awesome in the national budget, Mr. Speaker. Thank you to the Prime Minister and Cabinet below you. You put in big allocation of budget goal of police. That's all, Mr. Assistant Speaker. Lo harim blomi na lo talk lo sample line inside lo this organization. Me look sabe awesome. Now inside the newspaper, when it appeared last week, I think it was in Monday's paper, the new fraud squad director, Mr. Chief Sergeant Volo, stated that his organization, the National Fraud Squad Directorate, lacks funding. Now you look at some sample organization also, NIO also. Time you go to office blower by you surprise. Or some plenty desk empty. And when you ask the director, he says there's no funding to recruit more staff. And this time give him concern come lo me time me harim minister statement now morning. If we have allocated so much funding for this organization, by now a quarter or a third of the funding should be released to police. Because NIO, now you may harim osem, police or sabe finish lo this something happened lo Bulolo. Before it happened in Bulolo, before it happened here in Central Province or Balus Kamna crash lo here. Mipla lo Milimbe, or Panims lo drugs buried in the sand on Buri Island. On this floor, in the last parliament, I raised it. I raised this issue that these drugs, these illicit substances are already in Papua New Guinea. So before it could happen in Central Province and at Bulolo, it did happen already in the Milling Bay waters. And me give this warning companies. Now it will happen. It will continue to happen because there's big money involved with this illicit drug movements. Also, now, time you may have police minister raising this issue come, and I know NIO needs to be funded. And all I blow government. Oh, by look backside na come na talk sawelo government, come na talk sawelo police, come na talk sawelo army, come na talk sawelo organizations where they can take precautions before they happen. You may stop go happen now. You mean like crap no good na come lo parliament na talk sawelo parliament. This is only proper that we put warning signs out there so that our people can know. Now, NIO needs funding. You may look in the newspaper just a few days ago, National Fraud Squad talk, Mipla no got money, lo investigate him or big cases. So I think, Police Minister, there is something that we in this house have to be serious when it comes to law and order. And I say this because piracy has never come to my islands of the Torben Islands. Just a few weeks ago, a young businessman who was crossing from Alatau to go to the islands right looking over and seeing the main station of Kirwina, he was held up by a gang. They removed everything that was on his dinghy. And so the concern of law and order is not only law towns blaming. And it brings me to the point that I would like to raise, Mr. Speaker. A few weeks ago, or a few days ago, I had the Minister for Treasury in his report, Economic Update, Implementation and Vision. He said in page number 4, wasn't it great to see so many of our young people apply in January this year? Over 18,000 young men and women have applied for jobs here in January in Papua New Guinea. My question is, from those 18,000 who have applied for the jobs, how many have received successful responses? We can come out and say, isn't it great that 18,000 young people have applied for jobs? The question is, how many of them got employed? That's the crunch of the issue. Employment has become the biggest issue in the country today. And yet we have our good treasurer print it out in the paper and say, isn't it great that 18,000 people applied for jobs in January? Out of the 18,000, how many got employed? And that question needs to be answered. He also, in his response, said, which families are suffering? When the question was raised by the member for Yalibu, Pangia, and the former Prime Minister, in his answer he said, which families are suffering? Who said Woklo suffer? Because package blow government, relief package, home package of 1.1 billion and go out penis. I'm asking question, who is suffering? Somebody must be blind to be asking that question. Because all you have to do is follow me down to the streets of Boroko. Follow me to the Buai market at Hanobara and ask the families, ask the individuals out there. They'll tell you the real struggle they're facing. Today, we're talking about the drug bust at Bulolo. These things have never happened in the past. They are happening because individuals are looking for employment. Opening way to survive. Now it is incumbent to this government to make sure that employment is made possible. Miari Minister Blow mining I'm talking a few weeks' time. Program mine should open. It must open. You may not can talk, that's all. It must open. At the same time, member, I'm asking question law, pollution law water. Whilst the mines must open, we must hold the mining companies accountable for the pollution of the rivers. Or you can walk in money, that's on all go. I worked for a big company called BHP in the past for 7 years. The BHP time of polluting water law, octary or lusim na go. It will happen with these mines. You may like him employment. Me too, me like him employment, blow all people blow me. That's all, Mr. Assistant Speaker. All people blame me, Oklo, seen out, outside, within Papua New Guinea. All like him walk. Now you mean inside the house blame me yet? Yeah, thank you. But you give me 5 seconds because you interrupted me. But this is like 2 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Assistant Speaker. All people blame me like him walk. Now you mean inside the house blame me lo here. You mean create him more work, blow people blame me. You mean create him more work, blow people blame me inside this house. Members of Parliament. You mean like him more ministries, blow people blame me inside law here. What about our people? The funds that we are trying to expand to have more ministries would be good that we have those funds expended to create employment for our people in Papua New Guinea. Also, Mr. Speaker, now point me like raising Treasury and planning Prime Minister. Vote 207. Time belum over. Kalau saya melek tok so this la vote 207. In a all creating more visibility. Blow house or look how our spending is at 2 billion kina. Thank you, Mr. Assistant Speaker.